Hello, it's 13 January 2016. It's the 13th. This is the day that Obama wanted the nuclear weapons to start falling. Remember, 31 is the day that the firstborn died in Egypt. So everything's reversed with Lucifer. They want to start the wars on the 13th. So proof Obama attempted to start a war yesterday, which would initiate a limited bombing campaign today. By the way, 666 plus 666 plus 666 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 2016. Welcome to the new world. What happened yesterday is all of the newspapers before this happened got a press release, and they weren't supposed to release it till this morning. And the press release in the Wall Street Journal is Iranian sees U.S. boats in Gulf. Now this is in the Wall Street Journal today. And every newspaper has the identical writing. All the news stories were written by one man. Line them up. Compare them. We found that out. It started with Sotomayor, and now every single story is the same. Now we're going to show you what happened. There were 10 men chosen for this mission. And you'll notice the leader is laughing. 2 armored U.S. boats, and we're going to give Zero Hedge credit because Zero Hedge does a fabulous job, and we want to give him credit. Boost their people watching him. Here he is. The leader and the spokesman is laughing. The rest of them are like, leave me alone. There he is. He's laughing when they take the pictures. Now you go, there's some other soldiers down here. Go ahead and sit back. Here he is again. He's laughing. Everybody else is like, oh man, this is one of those stinky missions. Now these men were hand selected. You notice there's no fat. You go to a Navy post, there's a lot of fat people there. And this is an armored U.S. boat. We'll show you more here. And what you're about to see will stun you and it will anger you. These armored boats are capable of handling nuclear missiles with a range of 1,500 miles. So they're capable, the nuclear missiles go out and they can disperse weapons. So this carrier, similar to the old PT boats, can carry 2 missiles and they can destroy 20 Iranian boats, major ships. This ship alone is capable of destroying the entire Iranian Navy. So they send 2 of these ships out across the bay from Bahrain, the 5th Fleet headquarters. They know what's going to happen. They go out with lots of guns, no ammo, and 2 unarmed Iranians come out in a boat and say, you do realize that you're not in international waters, you're in Iranian waters. So what does the team leader do? He raises his hand and he says, we surrender these 2 boats. Now notice the Iranians, you don't see any guns in their hands. 2 men in a rowboat captured 2 armored U.S. ships which are capable of destroying the entire Iranian fleet. This was set up. It's a Hollywood stage. Obama tried to get, they wanted these 10 guys. Let's go back. See, 2 armored U.S. ships surrendered to 2 Iranians in a rowboat. There they are. They're surrendering to 2 Iranians in a rowboat. He doesn't want anybody to see who he is. 2 Iranians in a rowboat. Now let's back up a little bit. What did that Iranian have on? Nothing. The Iranians came out with a rowboat. He ain't carrying a weapon. There's no weapons in his hands. This Iranian captured the American flag, 10 fully armed men with 4 missiles that are capable of destroying the entire Iranian fleet, every ship and he's unarmed, and 2 men in a rowboat capture these men, and they put their hands behind their back. They don't have any guns. I mean, look, this ship is armored to the hilt.
Well, that guy back there does.
Look at that.
But he's way back
Look
there.
at him. He got no gun. 2 men in a rowboat captured 2 men in a frickin' rowboat captured 2 U.S. armored ships. Now, if that's not a setup, Jane, nothing is. 2 men in a rowboat, they got what, a 40-horse motor on the back? Do you see any armor on there? You see any armored vest on him? They have radar just in case they're in the fog. This is what, a $10,000 boat with a double hull, and this is a multi-million-dollar boat with machine guns all over it. Let's take another look. Remember.
It's like a fishing boat.
Yeah, he's out in a fishing boat. Let's see. What is that yellow flash in the back? Oh, it signifies the time of day. He's just smoking a cigarette. He doesn't have a gun. He's got a t-shirt on. 2 Iranians in a t-shirt captured 10 U.S. armored boats. Now, they wanted to have these people beaten. and sent back to the U.S. So the president could say, "Oh, they beat our sailors! They beat our sailors!" and start a limited bombing campaign in Iran after he gave them nuclear weapons. So they fire on Israel. Israel fires 2,500 nukes at everybody. The Messiah returns. World War III starts. The earth disappears. This is Obama's goal. And here's proof. 2 men in a t-shirt. 2 men in a t-shirt. That's to do armored U.S. ships. Oh my God. If this had happened, I'd have opened up on him. And I'd have gotten on Facebook. And I would have said we were set up to start World War III. And when I got back to my admiral, he would have crucified me and killed me. But I'm not. These men obviously understand they're part of a system to start World War III. A couple other things that really kind of stun me. There's no fat on these men, and they're really light-skinned. People out on the ocean don't have light skin, do they? They're sunburned. This is Iran, you know, temperatures get 140 degrees in the shade. These men have no suntans, do they, Jane?
Mm-mm.
So how can a guy with no suntan be in a mission in Iran and go out there and get captured to start? Well, these people are not likely from the Navy because they don't have a suntan. You're operating in Arabian waters. It's very hot and sunny, and these men do not even have suntanned hands. Isn't that a little odd that their hands aren't darkened by the sun in Iran?
There's long sleeve shirts on too.
Yeah, well, they have long sleeve shirts on. He looks like he has a short sleeve shirt on, but you see their arms are the same color as their hands, which means this isn't the normal crew for the ship, because the normal crew for the ship would be working in 130 degrees and their hands would get suntanned, right? You drive with your car outside your window and your arm gets suntanned. These men have no suntan, so they are not. See, there's a good arm. There's no suntan even on the fingers. So this was a setup to start World War III. Iran sent 2 men in a t-shirt out in a rowboat to say, "What's going on, guys?" And they went, "We surrender, we surrender." Something's not right here. And if it makes you mad, it should make you mad, because Iran was supposed to beat them up and send them back. And then we'd start a limited bombing campaign on a country we just gave nukes to. This is the game they're playing. Coming to you live, Dr. Williams. Any questions, Jane? Because this is obviously a Hollywood setup. These aren't the real sailors because they don't have sunburned hands. Everything is the same. Even there is the same as there. So these are men who are not used to the climate. They don't live in the Iranian climate. They don't get sun. We're not supposed to pick this out. You're not supposed to see this. Any questions, Jane?
No, the whole thing backfired because they released them and they were just fine.
Which means they're going to all disappear. Go back to whatever rat hole they came from. Whatever rat holes Obama's got them prepared to go back to. Because these are not sailors. Sailors have sunburned hands at 140 degrees. But 2 men in a rowboat arrest 2 nuclear-armed vessels. But my guess is they had no ammunition on the ship. Just, 8 or 10 machine guns. They can parade them in front of everyone. Look, they had M16s. Big deal. Anyway, any more questions, Jane? Because this is just... Doesn't this just blow your mind? 2 men in a rowboat in t-shirts. Oh, he has a rifle from the ship now. Oh, he's a big guy. Coming to you live, Dr. William E. Mount, and this is Obama's latest attempt to start World War III, and nobody's playing the game with him. Thank you and good night.